to do what they want to do, that's on us.
I'm going to say something now because I'm your friend.
Yeah.
When you got in your altercation,
Yeah.
I was all for them taking you off the field. Due process, okay, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
Until it was resolved, because it was still better for the league. Now, it was adjudicated, but when we get in situations like that, we have an opportunity. And every time I saw you since that, I was always worried, where is your life going? Ray, what are you going to do with this moment? We got a moment right now.
And so let me make sure we clear, absolutely. Let me make sure we clear up one thing, because that's what we have to be very careful, right? Because when you're falsely, right, information, then you have to figure out, where do we draw the line at? And where we draw the line at is, and I've always said this, and you know I've always said this at home, when God is for you, it's hard for anybody to be against you. So what you got to understand is, when we're going through this process and we're trying to figure out whether they're convicted, whether they're found guilty, all of these things, there's a part of due diligence that you do let play out. But I promise you, man, that what we have to figure out, because listen, I went through my trials by myself. Nobody ever has to tell me about that. And you know what I sat back the most? I sat back the most and watched the way people who didn't know nothing about what I was going through had things to say. So it puzzles me, because I'm on a different side of it now. So I'm not talking about who figured this out, I'm talking about, man, if you're wrong, you're wrong. And man, to much who's given, much is required. And we have a duty, even though we don't want to be role models, we're role models. And we are the picture of what the young kids in today's time are trying to achieve. You know what? If I was to give any young kid something, if you do find yourself going through something, I promise you, you put your trust in God and it always works out.
What's drummed into all of us, properly so, from a young age, and certainly professionally now, and when we go all speak somewhere to younger or groups, what's always included, fellas? Leadership. We talk about leadership. So the individuals, leadership, you got to take leadership of your own life, leadership, in this case, the ball clubs, and certainly leadership of the league. Everybody, we lost our lack of leadership across the board this week. We can only move forward, though, right?
Lead by example.
Yes.
Lead by example. Not words, not example.
It's all example.
Well,
that's why my life is went where it went. Because I led strictly by example. I took what I went through and I took it back to my locker room and I said, I want to make sure no man don't make the same mistake ever again. That's leadership.
let's hope not.
Yeah.
Leadership by all needed.
Yeah.
We'll be back.